Hi everyone, it's Ray from Ray Life Coaching again at Middle River Yoga Studio in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. And it is very dark in here because it is raining outside in Connecticut in Stafford Springs. And so I put a light kind of further on so that you can actually see me today. Here we are. I had a conversation with someone yesterday about the meditation that I posted on YouTube and the meditation class I had here at the yoga studio. And I realized that there was some explanation needed around this part of our hurdle in our lives that may be about other people. So even if you're trying to find a new job, we can easily, I want to use these words lightly, we can easily blame others. We can easily say, oh, they're not doing this. They're not doing that. And that may be very true. They aren't doing this, right? And we can easily say that that is why our lives are the way they are, our personal lives. And so in that way, we're blaming. We're saying that we have no power, no control. Because really, we're saying that our power is based on others. And I want to allow ourselves to rethink what power is. Power is not over. Power is with. So that means all of us can have power. Power is inclusive, and it's infinite, just like love, which maybe some don't believe that, just like money, just like abundance. And I say just like as if you agree with me. Some parts of us, including myself, still don't agree, still don't believe. And so with power over others, with blaming, we let go of our own power. And so I want us to rethink our relationship to the outside world and to others, because they have free will just like we do. So let's give this example of the conversation I had with someone about this problem that they had. They had a hurdle around somebody, a very dear relationship in their lives. And they wanted to keep this relationship. Obviously, they felt like that was impossible not to. Maybe it was family, maybe it was just a connection that they can't see ever letting go in a way. But what is letting go, right? So from the conversation, I heard this person feeling pretty disappointed and probably slightly resentful toward the person in their lives for not showing up in the way they needed. And needed is kind of one of those words. So they were giving, this friend I was talking to, they were giving a lot of themselves to this other person and not seeing the return. They would ask for what they wanted and still not seeing it in return. So I'm going to bring up this word, not just power, but I'm going to say that this word that I'm going to share with you is the key to your power, and it's acceptance. Right? So simple. Acceptance. What does that mean? Well, when we're talking about something that bothers us or lights us up, either way, we are already telling ourselves and others what needs to be accepted. What is happening? We are saying, okay, this person is not showing up in the way that I would like. Okay, why is it bothering you? Because I think that they should. I think that relationship, whatever dynamic that is, should be a certain way. I have expectations, and we all have this, right? We have these labels on people in our lives. They're my spouse, they're my daughter, they're my mother, they're my really good friend, they're my acquaintance. We have expectations of all these labels. And so we have a lot of shoulds around these expectations. And however, sometimes these people show up and show us what they are and who they are and where they are and what they can do and what they can't do. Even when we ask, very clear. And they're pretty much either passively aggressively not doing it, not clearly stating no or yes, or they are really saying no or yes. And we're not fully accepting it. And so what does accepting mean? It's not just saying, oh, they're not doing it, but it's also saying, okay, what does that mean for me? How do I, and I'm going to use this other word, fully love myself, love myself, and fully love them in return? And I'm going to say that acceptance is, again, another way of loving. Also, at the same time, another way of holding your own power and stepping into it. So let's take that scenario again. Once we say, okay, this person in my life is not showing up in the way that I would love, what am I doing that's not fully accepting that, not believing that? Always trying to test it, always trying to see if they're gonna show up the way I want them to, the way that I think they should. It's almost like I am doing things only for that. I mean, you might not be. You may not have meant to be doing that if they were that person, but they're not. And you know that. They've been showing you that over and over again. And so now when you're giving of yourself, it's tainted with that. It's tainted with that knowledge that you haven't fully accepted. Because if they were someone not with that label, if they were someone who you cared little about, you probably wouldn't give in that way. You wouldn't test in that way. You'd be like, okay, no, it's obvious they're not that person. So where is it that you're acting, that you're doing, that you're speaking, that you're even thinking in a way that's not accepting as to where they're at? And I'm going to say that acceptance, when you're not accepting where someone's at and you're acting from a place of shoulds or wanting this person to be something that they're currently not showing you on their own, even when you ask them, they're still not doing it. When you're continuously doing that, you're also not trusting their choices, their will. You're not allowing them to hold their own power, just like you're not holding your own. You're expecting your power to lie in what they do. I'm going to feel good if you do this. I'm going to give this freely if you give me that. It's not a good trade. It's a tainted one. When we feel good is when we know it's a good trade. We're taking care of ourselves. So in any relationship, we want to start with caring for ourselves. And when that feeling of disappointment or resentfulness or whatever, the shoulds come up, then we know that there's something off. And we can, yes, address it, mattering upon the relationship that we have with these people. Or we can, I think it's an and, we can deal with our own issues around what's going on? What labels are we putting on this relationship? What expectations are we putting on this relationship? Where are the boundaries for us? Is it like, I no longer want to see you if you don't do this? I no longer want to have this kind of relationship. What kind of relationship can I have now? How can I show up for myself? And by doing that, I'm also allowing you to do that for you. It's such a caring movement. It's such a loving movement. It's such an empowered movement. And I want us to get there. I want myself to get there. So let's do some kind of meditation to get us feeling really good. And I'm not going to do any visualization really. We're just going to get back to our loving center, our caring center. Because right now I feel really sad. I can feel that hurt when I'm not accepted and when I don't accept others in my life. So find a place that allows you to settle in and be still. Close your eyes or look forward about 2 to 3 feet ahead. And let the eyelids release from the forehead down to toward your chin. Allow yourself to start to breathe through the nose. And as you do, notice how the breath feels as it enters the body. Kind of cool on the inside of your nostrils. Feel the breath as it enters into your throat, and down into your lungs, your diaphragm, bloating up your belly. Let the breath, if you can, go all the way up into the back of the body, up to the head. And as you exhale, feel the breath on the outside of the body, and the exhale being slightly warm from the heat of your body. And you'll notice as you exhale, there's this pull from the base. You feel the diaphragm sink up toward your nose. Feel the breath going out of your nose. But at the same time, as you exhale, that pull from the base meets the relaxation from the exhale, from the forehead down to the lower belly. It's this weird contrast that happens with the breath. Breathing in, a push down, but as you bloat up, you can bring the breath all the way up the head and extend the body. Another circle, and as you exhale, breathing out, pull, push from the base up into the top of the head, and exhale, letting the forehead down toward the lower belly, sink back. Let's feel that circle wave in silence on our own pace. Let the facial muscles relax. The shoulders roll back and down away from the head. The hips and the muscles surrounding the hips and legs release as you exhale. Feeling the sensations of the breath as it exits and enters the body, and the wave in and out. And if any thoughts arise, just notice them, let them appear and move away without attachment to them. Allow them, accept them to exist without attachment. Bring yourself back to the breath, back to the sensations of the breath through the nostrils, in and out, back to the pull and the contrast of the movement of the body with each in, with each out of the breath. Notice the sounds around you and let them bathe you, even if disruptive, as if they become the breath itself. And you start to hear and feel your inner body noise. It starts to join with the outside noise. Any movement you may feel from the noise or the wind joins with the inside movement of your body. They become one. And the breath allows them all to relax and release and flow. There is no need to create barriers now. Only acceptance. Let that flow massage you, massage your mind, massage any parts of you that may still be holding. Let the breath and the movement be the hands that coerce those knots out. Where you are right now is where you need to be. The here and now always holds everything you need. You are where you need to be. Allow yourself to provide a smile, a sense of gratitude for this moment. And on your next exhalation, let it be very long and drawn out, like a relief. Like a thank you. And on your next inhalation, slowly start to come back to the parts of the body, the fingers and the toes, by letting them move and wiggle in the face and the facial muscles. Let those awaken with the breath.